So I want to add a non-playable character into my game, some kind of a bad guy that'll chase me around. Let's have a look at our assets, see what we've got. I like this guy, dangerous looking orc. I might put him in this room over here, maybe put him behind this table. Okay, now how do we want this non-playable character to behave? We want it to chase our player around, and eventually we'll get them to fight each other, which should be pretty cool. So let's add a script to our NPC. We'll right click on them and go add script. Now, how are we going to get our NPC to chase us? Well, we can give them velocities. So let's say we constantly want our NPC to chase us. We want that happening constantly. That's using the event block constantly. And if we use this constantly block, we can keep updating the velocity of the NPC so it chases us in different directions instead of just going in one direction. Okay, so that's the event that we need constantly. Then we're going to create a function, which is like a little reusable chunk of code. If we go to our functions section here and grab this to do something block, drag that out. This will be our function definition where we're defining a set of steps in here, and they can be reused in other places. What should we call this? Let's call this chase. I like chase since that's what we want it to do. Let's then put some velocity blocks in there. We go to physics and grab set velocity x0, drag that out. We need it to chase us horizontally. We also need it to chase us vertically as well. So we'll duplicate that block, right click duplicate, and this one will be velocity y. Now, here's the tricky thing. Our player might be to the left or to the right or above or below our NPC, so how do we know what numbers we should put in here? Well, we could just try putting 100 in here and see how that works out. To get this chase function to actually run, we need to put it inside an event block. So we've got our constantly block here. What we're going to do is say constantly chase, and we'll run this function. So if we go to functions, we can grab our new block there, chase, and drag that into our constantly block. So it's constantly going to do this. Let's test it out. We'll click play, and we haven't saved the script yet, so let's call this script NPC enemy. We'll save that. Okay, now I will go and find my NPC. Well, it was supposed to be there. Where is it gone? Ran all the way down to here. Now I'm going to go and play the game again, but I'm going to put my player a little closer temporarily. Just going to move my player over here so you can see what happens. So there it's moving across and it's moving down 100 velocity x 100 velocity y. We want it to actually chase us, so we're going to have to go and edit that script. Let's edit that NPC enemy script. We want this to chase towards us. How are we going to get it to figure out what those velocities should be? What we can do is get the difference between the player's position and the enemy's position. So let's say the player is at 500x and the enemy is at 1000x. We want the enemy to go left. That's negative. And so to get a negative number from the sum of those two numbers, we want 500 minus 1000, and that'll give us negative 500. So we want to say player's position minus enemy's position. Just double check that's actually right. Yep, that is. Okay. So these two numbers here, we're getting rid of those. I'm going to replace them with that subtraction that I just mentioned. So we'll go to operators and we'll grab this addition block from under numeric. We'll change that to a minus because we want the difference between their positions. Okay, now how are we going to get the player's position? Well, we want to go to transform and we want this block, X position of myself. We'll grab that, put that on the left. Now we want to refer to the player here, not myself, so we'll drag myself out of there. And then on the right we do want the position of myself, so we'll go back to transform and grab X position of myself. Now how are we going to refer to the player? Well, we can use tags. We can have the player tagged as player, and then this block can say go to the position of the thing that we found tagged as player. The way to do that is from sensing, and under tagging we want first instance by tag name. We'll drag that out and pop that into there. The X position of the first object we can find tagged as player. So we'll type player in there. And now the tricky thing here is we haven't tagged our player yet. So this will work if we have the player tagged. Let's see what it does if we don't have the player tagged as player. I'm going to play this. And oh, maybe I already did add a player tag to my player. Let me just double check that. Close that. I must have, right? I must have for the spike to work. So let's look at the player script. Yes, our player already has the tag, so that's the essential part. We've already got that, so good. So that works. All right, and we saw that the NPC ran towards us. So now we'll do the same thing vertically as well. So let's duplicate that subtraction block. Pop it in there, and now our vertical velocity, up and down, y velocity, is going to get the difference between our y positions. So if the player's y position minus the player's, so the enemy's y position. So let's test that out now. It's basically saying player's position minus my position. And, oh, here he comes. And that's how we can get a real basic chasing behavior going on our NPCs. Now the problem with this is he will just chase me all over the place. And he doesn't care if I'm miles away. He somehow knows where I am and will just chase me because that's what we programmed. So it's probably not the best behavior unless he's somehow psychic. What we'll do is we'll limit when he will actually do this chasing instead of it happening all the time.